Hej og velkommen derude til endnu et afsnit her på det Lyseblå Fællesskab. Og i dag er det altså mig, Nikolaj, som har værtrollen, fordi Bjørn ikke lige kunne. Og vi har altså en eminent gæst med i dag, og det er selvfølgelig Big Steve. Hello, Big Steve.
How are you? Okay.
Very good. And we have Mehmet.
Yeah, everyone.
And of course Martin, who also likes to do podcasts with me.
Hello.
hello. So, the first is, we have a segment. We're going to talk about the Chelsea match. It was a big match. It was an important match, and especially for our supporters. But we have a segment. I'm just began to do it, and it's called Guess a Player. It's kind of a quiz. I'm going to be the player, and I'm saying 3 things about me, and then the end of the podcast here, and you guys have to guess it. Big Steve, Martin, and Mehmet, and the people who's listening to this podcast has to guess it. Okay? Are you down for that, Big? So, the player I am. I just need to find it. I have written it down. Okay. Clip that out. I have been playing for 4 big clubs in my senior career. One of them is Chelsea. I always dreamed at playing at Wembley when I was a kid. My best football year was in 2019. That's the 3 facts about me as a player, and you have to guess it. We're gonna go back to it when we are done by talking about Chelsea match. Just to start the podcast about the Chelsea match, Big Steve, what do you think overall about the performance, about the City team who has been in a different place this season? We all know that, but what was the performance about the team this game against Chelsea?
I thought it was a very controlled performance. I feel like this season we've not been able to manage the games correctly. We've been taking the lead, losing the lead. We've been drawing when we should have won. We've been conceding very late goals. We've not been managing the games correctly. I feel like yesterday we had a very bad start. Khusanov on his debut, he made a mistake. He gifted Chelsea a goal. We didn't let our heads drop. We carried on going. We got back into the match. And then we went on to win the game comfortably without holding on for the last 10 minutes, panicking, thinking they were going to win, because that's what we did against Brentford. We've done it against Feyenoord. We did it against Manchester United at home. So it was just a relief to finally look like the old Manchester City, where we can get a grip of the game, get in our noses in front, and then see the game out, game management, and get the points. But the one thing about the game I wanted to mention is after Khusanov's error and then the yellow card, he didn't really want the ball, and Akanji was struggling to find him. He didn't really want to pass him the ball. You could tell by his body language he was struggling. So Bernardo Silva, full credit to him, he dropped deep, very deep into the back 4. He picked the ball up. He just gave Khusanov that 10-minute breather to get his head back on track. Now, I've got to give Bernardo Silva credit for doing that, because that's good management on his behalf. And B, Bernardo's had a bit of stick this season for not really being at the races. But yesterday, I thought his energy levels and the way he did that kept us going. And I was so proud of the team yesterday. Coming out the stadium, people were smiling. And it just felt like a complete performance, one to be happy with, not a fluke. But now we've got Bruges on Wednesday, Arsenal Sunday. It doesn't get any harder.
Does Martin Mehmet have anything to add about this, the whole team performance?
Actually, about what Big Deep just said about Bernardo Silva. He took a leader role yesterday, which was nice to see, because his season this season has been very, very, very bad in all forms. So see him yesterday doing this, helping a new player, and actually give him some kind of confidence was very nice to see. Also because we know that Akanji isn't a leader. So he took actually a defensive role just to be the leader over our new kid. Call it what you want, but he made him look way better in both the second half, but also the last half of first half. So it was nice to see someone who is actually one of our captains, sort of, because we have like 6-7 captains, which the armband goes around of, and I hate that in person. But he took some leadership yesterday, which was very nice to see, because Akanji wasn't doing that what he should do because it wasn't Ruben Diaz at his side. So seeing that was very nice, and also nice that Big Steve mentioned it, because it was really a tough thing to see Bernardo or a new kid struggling like that, and then seeing Bernardo, which is a well played and well managed player, go in and take that leadership, because he is an offensive player, and just seeing him doing different stuff in the defense, he was really good at it. He was really good at it. He took that responsibility, so it is very nice to see.
Maybe do you have anything to?
Yeah, I was worried a lot in the first 10 minutes. I think shit, it's gonna be a tough night. Chelsea is one now, have scored one goal, and I think, or it's gonna be 2-3. A nightmare because we need the 3 points because we want to play Champions League next year's season, and we have a really important match about the Club Brugge, and we need a win before the match for motivation. So I was glad to see the team after the 10 minutes how it changed. And after that, they play and everyone was fighting. It was 2-1, and we still fight for score another goals. So I was glad and more hopeful and trustful about to end the top 4 now, because I was really afraid about we don't gonna play Champions League next season. But now I really believe, and I let's play Club Brugge match first, and that's the one is the very important for come to continue to the Champions League. And after that, we have a really important match against Arsenal. If we're gonna make 3 points there too in London, we're gonna stay a really good place. So I see good things about the match yesterday.
Yeah, so we touch about the Khusanov debut, and we all know this the start, but the way he get back in the game, and quite frankly, was being a good solid player for the last half an hour maybe. But the other debutant is of course Omar Marmoursh. What is your feeling about Omar Marmoursh in this debut? It's not much, but you know the feeling about this signing, Steve. How is this player going to be important in the new generation, and how are we going to build up the team around Haaland? If you said,
I think that he's shown some great touches. I don't think he was playing in a position he really wanted to play, whereas Pep tucked Marmoursh and Foden inside, and he let Guardiola and Nunes go on the outside. It obviously worked because Josko Vardiol could have had a hat-trick. You know what I mean? He got in behind them so many times. Reece James didn't know whether to stick with Marmoursh or go with Guardiola. When Marmoursh did get in front of goal, you know, he tapped one in at the back post, was offside. He had a couple of shots which were well saved. One in the second half where Haaland linked up well with him, and he sort of snapshot again, and it whizzed past the post. But he definitely showed enough to encourage Manchester City fans that we've got a player. He was trapped in a couple of tight spots at one point. He pushed it in between two players, burst through, got us out of a sticky situation. I feel like he's definitely going to be a great player for Manchester City, and they're definitely a different addition to what we're used to. And maybe the little link up with Haaland we've seen, now we've got an Alvarez alternative, because I think it's something we've missed. Somebody to come on late in the game, maybe just give us a different dimension. And I feel like Pep could play him all across that front three if he needed to. And one good thing as well, Kevin De Bruyne was managed to rest. Ruben Diaz, obviously Rodri are injured. Nathan Ake's injured. Savinho got a rest. Doku's injured. So we have got a lot of options now. The team does look like we've got different things we can do, whereas early in the season it was one way or no way. So that was very positive. But yeah, Marmoursh for me, solid debut, and definitely can see glimpses of why we bought him.
yeah, does this sum it up, Mehmet and Martin, or do you have anything to add about this debut?
I think it summed it up for his way of performance, but I think the other players have to know him a little better. We all as fans know him because he is a runner. He is a runner for a pass, and Guardiola didn't actually fit him that way he could have. So I think he has made a good debut, but the other ones in the team could have made him way better if they played him a little like he wants to. He had a good debut, but the other players in the team have to adapt a little for him also, because he could be more and more dangerous if they give him those runaway passes. And there was a few moments, but there wasn't enough, because he is a runner. We have seen in the Bundesliga for a half season now. He is a runner man, and he didn't get the potential to do it in that match. Also because he's new, so he has also have to find the perspective of the new team. But I think that Guardiola should have played him more free in that possibility. So Marmoursh's debut was good, but I think the rest of the team could have pushed him a little more to make it even better debut.
Okay,
I agree about this. It was a good debut. For me, it was brilliant because it's first time he come to the world biggest and toughest league, Premier League. And I know Chelsea have a lot of match behind what they don't give the result they want to give. About to the December to now, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 points they have made in Premier League. So he fight. I love his personality to fight. But we don't forget it's first time they're gonna play in a really big, the world biggest league, and it's another it's a tough game against Chelsea. So Marmoursh and Khusanov, both. I know the first goal was his fault, but for me, they're good, brilliant about the first debut. So I'm positive about these two signings, and I can't wait to see them play again. So that's my thought.
Nice. The last player I wanted to talk about, we can do it quietly short, but in this podcast we already have a debate on the goalkeeping position, like in 2 years now. Ederson, for me, it's actually my question. Ederson, for me, proved in this game what quality he has, not only because the assist, but the danger he can bring. It's about how we're gonna play from the back. He is such a dangerous asset, actually, so we can play. The teams who meet us when we have Ederson don't like to go aggressive and knock on our center backs and on defense, because they know Ederson can make that pass he did to Holland, exactly. So my question is, Steve, is Ederson the goalkeeper to have still, or do we need new blood, or is Ortega the main man for the rest of the season or the next season? So
I mean, like you say, Ederson was quality yesterday. Against Paris, not so good. Against Chelsea, that ball into Haaland, we've used that a few times over the years, especially against Arsenal at the Etihad the other year when we won. It worked so well. I think Ederson's got a lot more in his locker regarding when he's got the ball. I feel like Ortega, as a shot stopper, when people are one-on-one bearing down on goal, Ortega's a lot more calm. He stands up to the last moment before committing, saves a lot. Ederson tends to come flying out 100 mile an hour, give away penalties, smash into the player, etc. But I mean, Ortega has not done an awful lot wrong when he's played. It just depends on Pep and how he wants to play it. I feel like if he knows we're playing a game where we can go long to Haaland, he's going to use Ederson. But Ortega, I don't know. For me, it's always Ederson. Ederson just edges Ortega for me. I do, but I don't. It's not a position where if I woke up tomorrow and Ortega's in net, it's not one that I worry about, because Ortega is a great goalkeeper. But like you say, we've seen the best of Ederson yesterday with them passes into them areas, and that's the reason why he's been number one. And I think he's still be number one, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's something really good. We have in the podcast some saying when we are going for pep rate and Rodgers on fire. It's a segment where the pep rate is something negative about the game against Chelsea. So we all need to have one, bad thing. It could be a player, it could be around the game as a whole, and just in the club. It doesn't need to have been in the match, but we have a negative thing, and that is pep rate. And I think, Martin, you can start, then Big Steve can have a idea what it's about.
Yeah, my pep rate this time is on and on again, Akanji, because I think when he's been in the club so long, 2 seasons, he's a very established player in the club. But in that, he doesn't want to. He gets stressed about our new player debutant Khusanov, and I think that sums up that he isn't the right leader in that kind of defense. So again, I'm giving it to him because he played a good match, but he didn't take that leadership a new player have to have in the back pocket, you can say. So I think I will give it to Akanji again for maybe the 10th time in the season, because I don't think he's been so good this season like he's been the last many seasons, but mostly because of the debut that he couldn't handle. So he needed actually help from attacking midfield. So I think I'll give it for him this time.
Mehmet, do you have a pep rage?
I want to say Akanji too, but yeah, yeah, I will do it short. I will say Akanji too because the same reason like Martin said.
Yes, Steve. So now you pep rage. You know the idea now. Some negative, not only negative, but something you think it could be better. You know.
I'll have to just say Khusanov, because I think the only mistake yesterday was by him. It was a very simple header back that he got caught. He got caught in the moment. It didn't affect us. We won the game. But what I'm saying is, for a young boy, you're in the Premier League now. It's a league where every move you make is going to be scrutinised, and little tiny things like that you've got to get right. We don't want opponents now to target him early doors, thinking, he's very weak, so we can get on him. So I hope it's just a blip. That was my only down yesterday, that he made that mistake, but he bounced back from it. And like you say, going forward now, hopefully he can put it right.
Yeah, I want to say too, but it was his first match, and it was the
Yeah.
first 10 minutes. That the time I was kid, I played football, and I come to a new club. The first 10 minutes, I was stressing a lot. So that's why I don't take him this time, because it was the first 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, I think he's doing well. But he's still young, and I think Guardiola gonna make him a world-class defender. I don't know why, but I feel that. I'm sure about that.
Great. And the other thing is Rodri's on fire, and that's the positive thing. It could be, the Holland goal or something. So, Martin, what is you Rodri's on fire from this match?
It's gonna go to Guardiola, both because he was good at playing this new system-ish where the wingers or the back players are getting more up. Nunes did also make a great, but I think I'd give it to Guardiola, because he made good attacking and good defending yesterday. So he was an all-around good player for the team, and he was a really team man yesterday, both in making good passes and some very good choices on the field.
And Mehmet?
I have two. You guys know it. I don't like Nunez, the place he play right now, but he's doing well yesterday. But one player I want to take some number one is Phil Foden. 6 match, 6 goals. I think Phil Foden is back, and it was lovely to see him score a goal and fight like he fight. So I will see Phil Foden this time.
Good. And Big Steve, you Rodri's on fire.
I'm going to say Bernardo Silva. I feel I explained it early in the contents of what he did in the first few minutes, helping out the young player coming deep, and then I feel like he really did run hard yesterday, cover a lot of ground, make sure Chelsea's midfield didn't get a grip of the game. When we were struggling bringing it out from the back, he wasn't frightened of dropping in to collect the ball and get us going. And when we were getting caught on the counter attacks, he was getting stuck in. He was deep, and I think it was a good game. After having a lot of criticism this season, Bernardo, it was just nice to see him having a good game, enjoying his football again.
Great answers.
Agree.
So the next, we're almost finished, but the next I want to talk about is the next game, and it's a big one. It's a big one in lots of sense. Club Brugge on the home field, and Big Steve, you're gonna be there, of course. So what do we think about the next game? What do you think the result will be? Are we nervous? What do you think about this game? The next really, really important game.
I just feel like we've left ourselves in a bit of a stupid situation, having to win at home to get through. Bruges, I don't think have lost in 18 games or 19 games. They only need a point. They're not a bad side, Bruges. You know what I mean? They're going to come looking at the Etihad. Teams that have come to the Etihad this season have plenty of gifts, plenty of good times at the Etihad. So they're going to be confident that they can do it. I feel like we just got to show no mercy. We've got to show no respect. We've got to play our best attacking players from the start. and we got to set the tempo fast, so fast that the Etihad is up and baying for blood, and that it's that fast that Bruges don't know what has hit them. We done it against Real Madrid a couple of years ago. We started that fast where nobody knew what had hit them, and I feel that's what it's only Bruges, but they're in control. They only need a point, so we need to make sure the tempo is that fast. We catch them like a rabbit in the headlights, and no mercy, keep going and just get the win.
Do you have something to add, Martin or Mehmet?
Yeah, not to add, but to agree about, Brugge have the upper hand. They are coming with only should have a draw actually, and then they are on. So we need a win. And as Steve said, they have to come out strong. It's like a train wrecking a house. That's how it has to be. We need to start great, and we need to be strong. Especially Haaland have to motivate the team, because when he's on fire, he sees blood, and he's giving everyone a better time on the field. Because if they first hit him, they will hit him the whole game. And now also, if we have Marmoursh as the false nine just behind him. We have a really, really big upper hand. And if we can have some of our players maybe not throwing these long balls and maybe try keep it a little on the ground, I think we could have an upper hand against Brugge, because they are very, very high and tall players. So if we are trying to get an air game, we can get a loss from this.
It's gonna be a tough game. I know a lot of friends tell me, "Oh, Club Brugge is easy," but it's not easy. Football player is like sensational, and if Club Brugge can get 1 point and continue to the Champions League, it will be big for them. So they will fight to the end. But all the time I have been in Etihad, I know the fans. If it's a really important time, they will be there, and they will make a big atmosphere. So it will be tough for Club Brugge too. For they meet the best team in the world, Manchester City, but the fans will do it too. So I think we will win, but it will not be a easy match. But I'm sure we will win.
Great. The last thing we're gonna ask here is the chaos box in Danish, aka Danish, is Rodekassen, but is anything you want to add in the podcast about the match or something else? You can tell us now. Martin, Mehmet, Big Steve, do you have anything to add before we go to guess a player? Just basically talking time. Anything to add?
I think I would like to add maybe just kind of a question for the goalie position right now, because many still think that Ederson is the best keeper we have. In my opinion, I think these 5 assists he can make isn't the best we can get. I think that right now the best keeper we have is Ortega, because I think he has a little more in mind about his mistakes, and he's better with the hands. In my opinion, a goalie is good when he's good with his feet, but the most important is the hands. And I don't think Ederson has the best hand. What do you think? Could Ederson be better with the hands, or should we have a new keeper, or should it be his last season or some of his last season? Because he was good at implanting this extra man on the field by drawing out the keeper. But I think these 5 assists could be put elsewhere when you see Ortega, because there is more calmness in the defense line also when we have Ortega on goal.
Yeah, we mentioned it. I think Ortega is different in a lot of things. There's things that Ortega does that Ederson can't. There's things that Ederson can do that Ortega can't. It's just a case of Pep knowing which way he wants to go. It's not a position I overly worry about. I feel like Ortega's more than capable of being the number one. I feel like Ederson is. It's just that Ederson does great with his feet, but then he does a crazy mistake. If someone gets one-on-one, he'll clean them out, give away a penalty, or he comes charging out of his goal, miss the ball. Whereas I feel like Ortega can stand last minute and they make the final decision. But I don't think Ortega's kicking is as good as Ederson's. So that's the sacrifice. But it really is down to Pep. For me as a fan, I wouldn't be upset if any of them two played.
Great. Now, the last thing before we say goodbye is the segment Guess a Player. And I'm just going to read the questions again. I have been playing for 4 big clubs in my senior career. One of them were Chelsea, are Chelsea, depends. I always dreamed of playing at Wembley when I was a kid. My best football year was in 2019. Guess the City player now. And is one of you want to start? Maybe Martin?
I think it is Mr. T-Rex Raheem Sterling.
Mehmet?
Yeah, it was the same. Sterling.
Okay. Big Steve?
Yeah, it was Raheem that came to mind. I think it was the Wembley thing, playing at Wembley. So
Nice touch with the Wembley, yeah. It's very Raheem Sterling, yeah, of course. So, just to say thank you to Martin and Mehmet for being on podcast. And a big thank you for you, Steve, for your time now. We have been two podcasts.
no problem.
And your time is amazing. Thank you for that, man.
No worries. Thank you very much, guys.